I think it was like 3 years ago. I was working for this A&R at Alamo Bell, and he was putting me on to like how to find even more fire music. So he was telling me on SoundCloud, find an artist that you fuck with, go to their SoundCloud likes, and then chances are you're gonna find another artist that you fuck with. And one of the artists we covered on our Curiously Curated series last week was an artist that I found through your SoundCloud likes like 3 years ago. Miles Cameron.
Oh yeah. I like Miles. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Miles is dope.
It's been awesome to see you come up. And honestly, this latest single like solidified it, where it seems like everybody, regardless of how hip they are to the music scene, is familiar with you at this point, which is
Yeah,
a great sign of where you're going.
right.
So what's that been like, having to set the stage for that and then executing it properly as it's going on?
Honestly, bro, like the main thing was for me, I'm super calculated, super meticulous. Like I'm super like I like to just put it all together and like so with a record like Billie Eilish, I sat down and I made this whole Google Doc. It was like a long Google Doc as to like how I would do it if I did it. What what TikToks I would drop, what content I would put around it, just like the story and the narrative that I would tell. And and yeah, and I just created the entire campaign, and I did the first thing from that campaign, which like I did like the first little studio video, and it went like I knew it was going to like get some reaction, but it went way further than I thought it was going to, and I was like, oh, I said like okay, cool, this works. So I mean, for me, like I said, like I was super meticulous about it and everything. Like I think if I didn't order my steps the way that I did, and if I didn't like actually plan it all out, it might have been chaos. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. What was it like coming out of West Philly?
Um, I mean, it was weird. Like it was cool. It was really cool because it gave me the opportunity to like I think it really tests you being from Philly in general, whether you're making music or just living in there. It really tests you to be like, who are you going to be? Are you going to be yourself, or are you going to be like another pattern or another rendition of the patterns that you see all the time? And so like once I learned how to be myself in Philly, I felt like I could be myself anywhere and in any environment, any genre, any whatever it is.
No, fact. I mean, New York's gritty, but Philly is just a whole different type of grit, where like
Yeah.
you see it in the difference in the music scenes, um,
Hmm.
but also like just in the people. Like in conversation with people, there's sort
Yeah.
of like a zero fucks attitude.
Yeah. Right.
Where-
Right. Nah, that's definitely very much instilled in me. I gotta tone it down sometimes. You know what I mean?
So I heard that Tom Brady had uh, put you on through his socials. So what was that
Yeah.
like? Like the moment that you saw that happen?
This has been just a 2 month process, so it hasn't really been out that long, and there's been like so many things that's happened that like you get those shocking moments. And this was one of the moments my cousin called me. He's like, "Yo, Tom Brady just posted your song." I had to drop the phone. It was like, what I mean? Like it's so many moments that I'm just in it and I'm like, "Oh, that's dope. Thank you. Appreciate you. Wow, that happened." But like the Tom Brady thing, I had to drop the phone. I was like, "Nah, hold on." You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I commented like 5 times under this video. I'm like, "Yo, I can't believe it. Thank you so much. You're the greatest quarterback in the world." And he liked the comment. I'm like, nah, Tom Brady just liked my comment. Like,
That's
you know,
fun.
yeah, that was real cool. That was a fire moment.
My editor told me that you were voted class clown in high school.
Yeah, for sure. I was class clown. I was most likely to be heard from what was it, like most likely to be heard from a mile away. I just like I'm really obnoxious. I got like a really loud laugh. Like it's just like anything about me that or anything just about a person that you'd be like, yo, this person is just like overly blank, like overly loud, overly like charismatic, overly funny, overly like he jokes too much. Like that's always been me. I feel like I check all of those boxes. So yeah, I was definitely class clown at high school.
I love that. That's mad funny. So how'd you get started? Like, take us back all the way to the start of your journey in music. What did that look like for you?
Yeah, bro. Like my earliest memories of music, I think I started writing music or just trying to rhyme music in like second grade. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like before anybody wanted to be a rapper. I was like, I used to rap about like cartoons fighting each other and stuff like that. Like, it was the only thing that that was kind of relatable for me. Um, Over time, I had a friend named Keem. Keem's mom got him a microphone for Christmas, and it was like the whole hood became rappers. Like we always just, like me and Keem, we was going back and forth. We used to like we would like take turns, just like one playing and one playing engineer, the other one rapping, and like we switch out every hour, stuff like that. Like it was just, that was just kind of the grind back then. Before we really knew how to do anything, how to make it, how to get big, or how to whatever. We just like a bunch of little hood kids that just had a dream, and and wanted to like kind of, just wanted to have fun with that dream.
I bet that helped out like a ton with just random sort of like technical knowledge as
Oh,
far as like creating songs,
yeah, I know. I engineer my sessions a lot of times. Even when I book studio, I'm like, yo, move. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
didn't
Like,
know that, but I figured that after what you just told me, because it's like how wouldn't you if you had such an early start that was so
yeah,
like DIY and like hands on.
right. Yeah, it'd be just like, bro, like, if I'm in the studio and you taking too long to do one thing, like, cause and I've had the same engineer, Don Groove, since I was maybe like 15 years old. But like, even with that, there's times now that I show Groove how to do things on Pro Tools that he don't even know how to do. Groove be like, how the hell you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's just like it's exactly that. Like my uncle told me, always know 50% of what you will, and then pay somebody 100% to know. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to always just be at least hands on enough to have an idea, hands on enough to be creative, hands on enough to say like I know what's going on, and not just like, yeah, man, he gonna take care of it. I trust him. Like you know what I mean?
Cross your fingers. Like
Because there's nothing worse than being a dude who doesn't like something, but you can't explain why you don't like it.
that's such a fact.
I mean,
That's such a fact. It probably does wonders for your whole process that you can have a vision of the last step of the process, like
yeah,
music wise, and then be able to say like, no, this is it, rather than just like I feel like a lot of artists, because the engineering is like a separate thing from them, especially when they're up and coming, because the limited resources, they're just like, yeah, that's good enough,
yeah,
Whereas this
right.
is a whole separate approach of just like really fine tuning shit, which is
Yeah. But it's
rad.
tricky because some people like you get very meticulous, and then you might end up like, I don't know, it's like stifling a creative process. Like, you don't want to overcook something.
Absolutely. It's such a balancing act. It's really
Yeah.
about like staying.
Right. You definitely don't want to overcook it. Whatever it is you're working on, like, oh, too much time. But yeah,
So you have a single coming out, correct?
yes, sir. Diamond Dollars drops tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind that song?
Bro, the hook is like, made it out the hood, now just visiting my mama, make a couple mil, get her crib in the Bahamas. Like, it's just it's that thing that like in 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, whatever it is, I want people to remember this moment. Like, remember, Armani White. He after years and years of grinding, getting it out the mud, like he finally got it. The song blew up. He signed to Def Jam. He gave his mom 100 grand, and this was the song that he dropped to kind of staple it. Like, this is how this is the soundtrack to how we remember that entire moment. That's kind of how I look at this record right here. It's like, it's really just, it's a celebration record for me.
I love that. Tell us a little bit about Def Jam as well. So how'd that come about, and um, what do you like the most about working with the team over there?
Man, listen, Def Jam is I think the real great part about it is like, they let me come on as a partner. And that's not something that you get at every label, and that's not something that you get on the first signing in your career. That's something that you have to usually work towards. But they just understood me, like the team over there. Tunji's like a brother. Like, I've known Tunji for years. And like just the culture is over there. So I think it just made a lot of sense. Like, there's a lot of just good people over there that we already had pre-existing relationships. That it was like, I think it just made sense to kind of like come together, and they got me. They understood me outside of one record, and that was the most important thing. There was a lot of deals that came to the table, especially when things started heating up. There was a lot of deals that came to the table when it first went viral, and then when we was taking a little while to get it cleared, a lot of them left. When it dropped and it took over, a lot of them popped back up. A lot of them came back around. Hey, what's going on, man? Remember me? And but it was more so about that one record. I think the one person who didn't leave that entire time and was just sticking it out was like whether it went good or went bad. Because I Believe in You was Def Jam. That was the one team, and Tunji, that was the one company. Um. So yeah, it just made sense.
Time really does a lot of favors as far as like pointing
Hmm.
you in the right direction with that type of shit.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, what was that like giving your mom 100K? I bet everybody watching this is wondering what that sensation is like.
Nah, I mean honestly, bro. Like I have a lot of friends in music now that I watch them do a lot of things for their parents, and that was something I've always wanted to do. And like sometimes you start psyching yourself out, and you're like, I can't do it yet. I gotta wait until. I gotta wait until. I gotta wait until. It's like, no, I'm in that position now, and I can finally do that. And I only have one parent left. Like that I lost my father, so I watched her. I watched her since I was a baby, like just work and work and work, take no for you never take no for an answer, and just like really grind and give me, my sister, and and everybody after, my niece, give us the life that we wanted. And I was just like, man, you deserve this. Like, like I even put it in the message. I was like, look, if there was more I could give you right now, I would. But unfortunately, my finances ain't set up like that. But but I'm like, you deserve this, and like as much as a wild factor, like she don't really like to be recorded, but I was like, I want you to remember this. Like when it comes around again, I want you to remember that. I want you to remember every time that, like, like you really, you took care of me, and you believed in me. And we had our ups and downs even with that, but like even when she was reluctant, a little piece of her trusted that, like, yo, you'll figure this out. And I did. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. I love that. And what a way to pay it back, like
Yeah.
that.
Yes, sir.
Um, so what excites you the most about this year for your career and this year in general, be it like a movie or an event or what have you?
Bro, Black Panther about to come out. That's big.
Uh,
um, I think for me as a career goes, like there were so many things I wrote down on the checklist that I wanted to do, and we knocked all of them off. Like, you know what I'm saying? We knocked everything off of that checklist. So I think like the exciting thing for me is just to keep revamping, revising, and like reworking that checklist to say like, yo, can we do it again? Can we do it again? Can we do it again? Because like just like all of the things that I've sought after and thought were like achievable but almost impossible to do. I'm redefining what impossible is, and redefining what possible is, and that's just a beautiful feeling for me. So that's kind of what I'm excited to keep doing. I'm excited to just keep surprising myself, to keep expanding, and to keep like just like raising the bar for what it is that I can do.
that was such a fucking bar before that. I'm redefining impossible and redefining possible because that's
Yeah,
like that sums it all up beautifully.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you, bro. Lastly, like we could leave it on this. There's a producer who I know is Blanco as well. We covered him in, I believe, one of the earliest Curiously Curated editions.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of Core Blanco?
I feel like I have. I'm not sure why though. I definitely feel like I have. I seen a
He
name somewhere, but I don't. What did he produce?
he produced Ninth Grade and Can't Call It on Jack Harlow's Loose album.
Okay.
Uh, he's done like a lot of underground work with like different buzzing artists, but he even raps himself. But
Okay.
his beats, like I don't like making comparisons at all, but I just get a sense from him that he's assumed to be great with production because he's really got his own vibe and shit. But
Yeah.
who knows? I didn't know if you knew him or not, but I gotta put the Blancos onto each other.
Yeah, man. Nah, I'm trying to link up with all the Blancos, man. Benny Blanco, Cor Blanco, fucking. Is it, if it's another Blanco out in the world that I don't know about, like let's put it together.
Hell yeah.
Hey, it's Armani White, Big Blanco, and you tuned in to 137 p.m.